They came across the fields in perfect formation, steel beasts rolling side by side, engines roaring like thunder. Russian tanks, hundreds of tons of armor and firepower, crept forward across Ukrainian soil, but within seconds, they were gone. A blinding flash, fireballs ripping through the air and silence. No fighter jets screamed overhead. No missile trails streaked across the sky. The destroyer of this armored column came from above, unseen, unheard, and unstoppable. It wasn't a laser or a sci-fi superweapon. It was a shell, a British supershell, quietly rewriting everything we thought we knew about modern warfare. For more than a century, tanks were the kings of the battlefield, unstoppable armored juggernauts that crushed everything in their path. The entire Russian doctrine is built around that idea. Armor rules, artillery supports, and the enemy flees. But today, that belief is dying fast, and the UK is holding the pen. Because out on the Ukrainian front lines, a new weapon is making Russian tank crews wish they'd taken up a different career. The bonus round, a Swedish-British marvel, is showing that the real threat isn't a missile you can see. It's a shell that finds you before you even know it's coming. So, what exactly is a supershell? It's not the name of a Bond gadget or something out of Star Wars. The term refers to a new breed of precision-guided, sensor-fused artillery rounds, shells that think, see, and hunt, unlike traditional rounds that explode on impact. These weapons open up mid-air, release submunitions equipped with sensors, and attack from above where tanks are weakest. Take the bonus shell. Originally co-developed by Sweden's Bofors and France's Nexter, and fielded by several NATO allies, including the UK, it's now being used by Ukrainian artillery units. Here's what happens. A 155mm shell is fired from a howitzer, say a British AS-90 or a Swedish Archer. As it soars through the air, a timer triggers, and 2 submunitions pop out, spinning rapidly. Each one scans the terrain with infrared, LIDAR, and target recognition sensors, searching for armored shapes. Once they lock onto a tank, they unleash a molten copper penetrator, an explosively formed projectile that plunges straight down through the tank's roof armor. One hit and it's over. The crew doesn't even have time to open the hatch. Even Russia's newer tanks, like the T-90M, can't shrug this off. Their upper armor is far thinner than the heavily plated sides and front, and when that top is pierced, it's not just a kill, it's an explosion. The autoloader beneath the turret turns the entire vehicle into a pressure cooker of burning ammunition. The result? A twisted steel coffin and one less tank in Vladimir Putin's arsenal. And the scariest part for Russia? There's no reliable counter yet. Smokescreens don't help. Bonus submunitions see through them. Jamming doesn't work either. They don't need GPS or radio links. Even the Arena M active protection systems mounted on T-90Ms can't react fast enough because the attack comes vertically at supersonic speed from an angle the radar simply can't cover. Ukrainian forces have used these shells to devastating effect. On several fronts, from Zaporizhzhia to Donetsk and Kursk, drone footage shows Russian columns annihilated in seconds. No warning, no missile trails, just mid-air bursts followed by catastrophic hits from above. In one engagement, analysts counted 3 BMP infantry vehicles with perfectly circular holes punched through their turrets, the telltale mark of a bonus hit. Another strike in the Svatove sector wiped out an entire mixed convoy of BMP-S and T-80 tanks before Russian crews could even react. It's surgical destruction, and it's happening faster than Russia can adapt. Drones are the eyes and the supershells are the fists. Ukrainian UAVs spot enemy armor, track its movement, and send coordinates to artillery batteries, many of them trained under Britain's Operation Interflex. The moment a target appears, a fire mission is executed, and within minutes the shells are in the air. Each bonus round can autonomously hit multiple targets. 2 submunitions mean potentially 2 kills per shot. A $100,000 shell destroying $10 million worth of armor, that's a 100-to-1 kill ratio. It's not just smart warfare, it's efficient warfare. And Britain isn't stopping there. Under the 2025 Strategic Defence Review, the UK has pledged to ramp up production of precision munitions and deliver 100,000 new drones to Ukraine, creating a dense, interconnected web of eyes, data links, and strike assets. It's the kind of integration NATO planners dream about, and it's already real. Together, these systems form what military analysts call a networked kill chain. Drones scout, artillery fires, supershells hunt, data feeds back, and Russian armor burns. Desperate to survive, Russian units have tried everything. They've spaced their tanks farther apart, painted fake heat signatures on decoy vehicles, filled the air with smoke, and blasted electronic jammers across the front line. Some even tried hiding under trees and abandoned barns, which admittedly worked about as well as hiding under a napkin during an air raid. But the bonus doesn't care. Its sensors cut through concealment, detecting thermal and geometric patterns that betray the shape of a tank even under camouflage. The result? Another explosion, another burning wreck, and another armored crew filing for an early retirement permanently. There's a dark irony here. Russia spent decades refining its tank doctrine, betting on speed, armor, and mass. But in Ukraine, mass just makes you a bigger target. Every time a Russian commander orders a large column to move forward, he's rolling the dice. And the house, armed with Swedish-British artillery, always wins. This new way of fighting, layered, digital, and precise, is erasing the Soviet playbook line by line. Where once numbers mattered most, now it's about who sees first, who fires first, and who connects sensors to shooters faster than the enemy can blink. And in that race, the UK and Ukraine are running laps around Russia. The British didn't just send shells, they sent strategy. Through Operation Interflex, tens of thousands of Ukrainian troops have trained in Western-style combined arms warfare, blending drones, artillery, logistics, and command networks into a single lethal organism. Each battery isn't just firing blind into a grid square. It's part of a living system that thinks, adapts, and strikes with precision. Even Britain's Archer self-propelled howitzers, now in Ukrainian hands, are tailor-made for this new era. They can fire a bonus shell and move before the enemy radar even knows where to look. A shoot and scoot so fast, it's practically teleportation. Russian counter-battery fire is left hammering empty fields, while Ukrainian gunners have already changed position, reloaded, and are prepping the next salvo. Sweden has doubled down too, supplying more Archer systems and munitions in 2025 as part of a $295 million aid package. These weapons aren't trickling in anymore. They're flowing like a steel river toward the front. And the effects are showing. According to open source analysts, at least 41 Russian tanks destroyed in the first half of this year show signs of top attack strikes, neat vertical holes followed by catastrophic ammo detonations, each one likely a bonus hit. That's not just tactical success, that's strategic transformation. But let's take a step back. Why is this so revolutionary? For decades, the tank's armor, especially on the front, grew thicker and tougher. New composites, reactive tiles, active defense systems. It was an arms race of steel versus firepower. But now the race has moved into the sky. Top attack weapons like Bonus, Javelin, and NLAW all exploit the same truth. Armor up top is thin because tanks were never meant to fight flying shells. It's like training for a fistfight and getting hit by a falling piano. This is the future of land warfare, where even the mightiest machines can be undone by something the size of a garbage can, guided by sensors smarter than most tank crews. And in this war, the UK's role is far from symbolic. London's long-term defense review aims to make Britain a hub of precision warfare. That means more autonomous systems, more joint targeting with NATO, and faster industrial output. In short, fewer soldiers pulling triggers and more machines making the kills. Russia, meanwhile, is facing a nightmare it can't shoot back at. Its tank factories are working overtime, cranking out updated T-72s from the 1970s and calling them modernized. Its crews are younger, less trained, and often terrified. Every advance risks another drone spotting them and another supershell in the sky. Even attempts to reinforce their armor have failed. You can't simply bolt extra steel on top of a turret. It makes the vehicle too heavy, too unstable, and it still won't stop a downward strike traveling at supersonic speed. It's like putting an umbrella over a volcano. You know how that ends. Economically, the math is brutal. A single bonus shell costs roughly $120,000. A T-90M tank, around $4.5 million. That's one shell wiping out 40 times its cost and taking years of Russian industry with it. As one analyst joked, It's the most cost-effective recycling program in Europe. Strategically, this shift is enormous. Tanks aren't gone, but they're no longer gods of the battlefield. Now they need constant air cover, drone overwatch, and electronic shielding just to survive a few miles. In Ukraine, mobility equals vulnerability, and stillness equals death. For Ukraine, that's a game changer. Every destroyed Russian tank opens a hole in the front, a morale wound, a message. You can't hide from precision. For the UK and its allies, it's proof that Western doctrine, networked, smart, flexible, can outthink brute force every time. And for Russia, it's a warning that in modern war, numbers don't win anymore. Networks do. The British Supershell isn't just a weapon. It's a symbol of the 21st century battlefield where technology, training, and timing converge into lethal harmony. It's warfare by algorithm and artillery, where a drone's camera and a soldier's trigger finger can destroy a tank company a continent away. As of 2025, Britain's commitment shows no sign of fading. The Strategic Defense Review prioritizes sustained support for Ukraine, expanded drone fleets, and deeper NATO integration. In plain terms, the bonus shell may be just the beginning. The next generation could be faster, smarter, and entirely autonomous, hunting armor with zero human input. So the question now isn't whether tanks will survive the next war. It's whether anyone will still be brave enough to ride inside one. The tank may not be extinct yet, but in the skies above Ukraine, under the gaze of British and Swedish engineering, its age of dominance is burning out, one supershell at a time. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit like, drop a comment on which weapon you want decoded next, drones, lasers, or maybe the secret war of electronic jamming, and subscribe, because the future of warfare isn't coming, it's already here.